So, after that, we get word that, Sheamus was injured and he's definitely off Team Cena. So then Team Authority comes out for the contract signing. It's our main event segment. And Triple H, this I could agree with you about your beginning sentiments on the show, about how you said Triple H has been cutting like babyface-esque promos, because this was very babyface-esque to me. It almost seemed like Triple H, to me, was on the verge of breaking down in tears when he was talking to the people tonight in this closing segment. Because he talks about how, they're the type of people, they live for the WWE, and, again, he looks like he's getting choked up, and then I tell Stephanie that, we cannot lose, and she says they won't, and then Triple H yells that, they are not losing, and he looks at all of his teammates, and he keeps saying, we won't lose, or any variation of we won't lose. And then, so we go from that emotional, impassioned promo from the heel who decimated the entire team, and really who has more legitimacy than anyone to crack jokes, but who does crack jokes, the captain of the babyface team, John Cena, who comes out after Triple H's promo. I mean,
by himself.
By himself. Now, honestly, Ashton, again, I think on any other night, I probably would have made this a heat of the night, but like you with the whole bunny humping Adam Rose thing, I'm not going to let it get to me. I just wanted to remark how backwards I really do believe that is. That the babyface guy that comes out by himself is making jokes.
Can we just take a moment to accept the fact that Triple H told us what John Cena would say, and then Cena proceeded to say it?
Yeah.
Triple H said that every fiber of our being is this business. This business means everything to us. And I'm sure Cena's going to come out here and act like it's not as big of a deal to us as it is to him. And right on cue, Cena comes out and he says, "This business means everything to me." And he said something about how when he was going around to the crowd picking up team members, he said that the five of us have one thing in common that your team doesn't have, and that's passion. Because we all love the WWE, and your team is a bunch of suck-ups and sellouts. Right after Triple H said that wasn't true.
Yeah, because a man nearly getting choked up that he can't even finish his sentiments.
Yeah.
It doesn't care about this at all.
Right.
Again, I'm not trying to turn this into some kind of rant. I'm really not. I just want to point out that I think I really am more sympathetic to the heel team, and they've been destroying everyone. I shouldn't be sympathizing with these guys at all because they're firmly in control. But yet, especially after this Triple H promo, I'm left thinking, man, what are these guys going to do if they lose their jobs? Yeah, they're horrible people, but at least they care when they come to work. It's so weird.
And that's the funny thing, too. You have so much ammunition to use on the Authority, and the one thing that you try to go for is the one thing that they're pretty much immune from, the passion.
Exactly. Why don't you talk about the fallen teammates that you didn't even bother to help? Why don't you talk about how if you really love this business, you would stop punishing a guy like Dolph Ziggler and, I don't know, giving the people what they want and showing him in the main event,
yeah,
or something along those lines. Just something other than attacking their passion, really, in an average manner.
I love how Cena acts like, oh, he's passionate about this business, and then on one hand, it's like he is the king panderer, and then on the other hand, this was the first time that he actually refused to pander. Normally, he would be like, oh, you say that you want what's best for this crowd, but you know what I think is best for this crowd? Dolph Ziggler and the Big Show and Sheamus and me and you are trying to take us all out one by one for your own selfish means. And that's the panderiest thing he could have done, and that's the most John Cena thing he could have done. But he didn't freaking do it this one time, and he decided to go for the hard route. And the hard route was even harder, made even harder by Triple H saying that everything John Cena was about to say was false.
And I hate to be that guy because I've really tried keeping his name out of my mouth. But the one guy that would have stepped up to the plate with this promo, CM Punk. I think CM Punk could have knocked this kind of promo out of the park against the Authority, seeing all of his teammates fall before him, because Punk was that guy. When it was the summer of Punk and he was that edgier guy, he would bring up names that legitimately got released. So I sure as hell believe that he'd go to bat for guys that were kept down or bullied by the Authority. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's why this one time, I actually wish it was, I'll say a guy like CM Punk, if not CM Punk exactly.
Well, and even dude, here's the thing. I could even see Bryan doing better in this spot than Cena.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Bryan is no microphone wizard by any means whatsoever, but he knew how to frickin' pander.
Yeah, definitely, which is why he's such a phenomenal babyface.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cena, knowing that just everything around him has been reduced to ash because of the Authority, and any other babyface would realize the futility of the situation, he's just thinking to himself, man, I can't wait to go home to my waterfall swimming pool. It's going to be awesome.
I know.
It's just not a care in the world.
I can't wait to go home and motorboat my hot girlfriend while we're swimming in my freaking waterfall.
It's just like Ziggler's holding the back of his head thinking, I wish I had that luxury, John.
And then he's just like, I wonder which one of my 6-figure vehicles I should drive to work today.
Or maybe I'll polish all of my glass case championships that I've accumulated over the years. Hey, Dolph, you were a former world champion, right?
It's a real shame that there are only 15 of them. That fourth one would really make this so much more symmetrical on the bottom row.
Oh my god, what a douche muffin. And really, Stephanie slapped Cena, which I think is the physical manifestation of all of our frustrations.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you say it's on now. I can take all 5. And really, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, yeah, he probably could, because I mean, John Cena looks at Scott Steiner.
And here's the crazy thing. The crazy thing to me is he cut this whole promo under the impression that it was going to be him versus all 5 of the members of Team Authority, and I was just thinking, are they seriously going to have him sweep them? Because I could believe it.
I could believe it too. I could believe it, because John Cena looks at Scott Steiner and says, your math doesn't matter. 1 is greater than 5, and he would just overcome. But it doesn't get to that. It doesn't, because Dolph Ziggler does come out holding the back of his head and probably just feeling like, John, where the hell were you when I needed you? Here's what a team player actually looks like.
Dude, I wanted so bad for him to grab a mic and just look at John and be like, John, I want you to know I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it for me and for them. And of course, with the pandering thing, point to the crowd to try and get rid of the Authority. Just to be like, screw you, Cena. Where were you when I needed your help? Like,
yeah, exactly. Honestly, dude, where I am saltiest about this whole angle, because I can forgive all this, but I think what really sticks in my craw, if you want me to be honest, I wanted Ziggler to have that segment where he could just go out in the middle of the ring, get a microphone, and say his piece. Because, again, I think he's been one of the most tormented members of Team Cena, and as I said, certainly the most sympathetic. It would have been so great, and maybe he'll get to do it this Friday, but I doubt it, if he would have gotten to say his piece and have that cathartic moment, with the crowd and really connect with the audience. But no, just gets laid out, and John Cena's like, well, them's the breaks. So, Ziggler comes out, then Big Show comes out because his injuries weren't so bad. And then this is where the segment goes from amusing and good enough to really, really awesome. So, Ashton, who comes out next? I'm going to give this one to you.
After Ziggler?
After Big Show.
Oh, after Big Show. Eric Rowan.
Yeah. Eric freaking Rowan. Eric,
when his music hit, I was like, wait, Eric Rowan? And John was just like, wait, because he was behind me, because I was watching on TV and he had to watch it on the internet. So I said, Eric Rowan? And he goes, wait, are you serious? And then he came out and John started freaking out too.
And Ziggler was marking out and Cena was marking out.
Dude, Cena was losing his mind. He was jumping up and down.
And Harper was just like, what is this? And I'd love to know what Bray thinks about all this. Is this what he wanted for his family? Like, I don't know.
One's sold out to the corporate side and the other one's joining the baby faces.
I can't believe Eric. You know what? Given the lighthearted segments that Eric Rowan's been doing, I really should have seen coming that he would be a babyface, but I really wasn't sure, because even if the segments were lighthearted, like him taking the stuffed cat tonight and interacting with Miz and Miz Down Grumpy Cat, there was always that air of creepiness to them, so I never knew. But yeah, it seems like Eric Rowan is a babyface.
I mean,
wow.
Can we just take a moment to acknowledge the fact that Eric Rowan is so much better than Sheamus right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I am really enjoying Eric Rowan, dude. I think he's far more relevant than Sheamus right now.
Lobster chin is greater than lobster head.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Lobster chin for life. And then, you know...
I'm sorry, I just love that they swapped out Sheamus for upside down Sheamus.
I didn't even think about it like that. Oh my god, what's happening? And then... I kind of go on a little roller coaster of my own, because then the next person to come out, I'm like, no way are they giving him this rub. Cesaro comes out, and he's pulling the knee pads up, and he is looking so serious. He's like, it's time, like, my main event spot is now, and I'm making it, and he comes in, and I'm like, oh man, shit's going down, and then... pretty much the closest thing to a Jericho troll we'll probably get until Jericho comes back as a heel. Cesaro looks at Cena, laughs, and then joins the Authority, to which Stephanie just laughs, and in the back of all their minds they're thinking, you thought we were going to give him a main event spot.
Can we, though, also just take a moment to appreciate the fact that this might be the first time that Sheamus has ever sold an injury, ever?
Oh, yeah. That too. That's actually a great point, and I can't believe this was the injury that he sold. The one time,
and I'm speaking strictly in kayfabe terms, because obviously he's had a legit injury this past fall, but kayfabe wise, this is the first injury he's ever sold.
Yeah, and kayfabe wise, like the one time where the babyfaces could have really used him, but I think they got a fine replacement here, and the fine replacements would continue because. Unfortunately, and I guess I'm all right with this so long as he dominates, Ryback does come out.
Do you want to know literally the only reason that I had a problem with this?
Why is that?
Because the pop would have been so much huger if they would have gotten Orton to do it.
Yeah, they really would have. But you know what? Good for Orton for not selling out his principles. He's like, you know, John, I may have my problems with the Authority, but I still hate you. Piss off.
Yeah, so much. I love it.
And you want to know the only reason I didn't have a problem with this, because you had only one reason where you had a problem. I only had one reason I didn't have a problem, because it breaks down. It's this big skirmish, this big brawl, and Triple H and Ryback have a stare down again, and Triple H gets 8-8 through a table, but I don't want to focus on Cena. I've given him enough of my attention. I think you and I pretty much concluded we found Ryback's WrestleMania this match this year. I'm convinced they're doing Triple H versus Ryback in Mania.
Dude, I want to believe it so much. I don't know for sure if I would say Mania, but I definitely think that they're on a collision course.
Definitely, because two stare downs, you know, one on this past Mania and then one...
I mean, for all we know, they could just end up having a ladder match at TLC and being done with it.
I mean, hell, Triple H and Kevin Nash technically had a ladder match by all intents.
Why do you think I said it that way?
Yeah. So,
my obscure references are so obscure that I need John to point out why they're happening.
Yeah, exactly. Because I would be the guy to do it, right? Yeah, I'm actually happy, though, that we're potentially getting Ryback versus Triple H. Because honestly, me and Ashton had this terrific discussion last night, you know, pretty much talking about our wrestling fandom and this and that. But at one point, we did talk about the Royal Rumble. And I did mention that Ryback was one of my favorites to win it. If he doesn't win it, and it goes the way that I'm thinking it'll go, which is Roman Reigns winning it, Ryback versus Triple H would be a wonderful consolation prize. Yeah. I think for Ryback fans and just people who want to see him reach that next level. Because I think Triple H, if WrestleMania 30 was any indication, I think he could put on a great match with Ryback and really make him look like $1 million like he did Bryan at the start of the night before his big journey to the championship. So I hope it happens, dude.
Yeah.
All right. With that said, that was Monday Night Raw. Do you have any concluding remarks you want to make before we go into our next segment?
No. I just really want to kind of drive home the point that this was a shockingly easy Raw to watch.
Definitely. I will not argue that point one bit. So with that said, let's get into our next segment. High spots and low shots. Low shot has to be Dolph Ziggler for me. You know, the odds finally catch up to him tonight. He loses the Intercontinental Championship. It was a game effort from Dolph. He didn't go down without getting a few good swings in, but he is no longer the Intercontinental Champion. And he got beat down after the match with a vicious curb stomp, but he still had enough heart to show up in the closing segment. But still, I don't think that was enough for him to avoid the my low shot. So Dolph Ziggler is my low shot this week.
Yeah. All right. My low shot. I am really tempted to make it Cesaro because he lost to Ryback and then could have been a big deal, but decided intentionally not to be.
So weird.
So I think my low shot is going to be Sheamus because he had the opportunity to win a WWE World Heavyweight Championship match and he ended up in the hospital.
Just the way you said that, it's like, wow, that really is a crappy night when you just put it that way.
It really is. It was awful for him.
And you know what? Because I have no idea where his career is going to go after this, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to say it again, my high spot is Eric Rowan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to, because you know what? He's been doing the weirdest segments these past few weeks, and then in one segment, I think he just ended up on everybody's radar being a part of Team Cena in a match that I think you know is going to close Survivor Series. So let me just get this straight. Bray Wyatt, and it shouldn't be a bad match either, he's going to be in a match with Dean Ambrose, but Luke Harper and Eric Rowan get the main event. Granted, sharing it with all these other guys, but still.
And let's not allow this to go by without mention. Luke Harper won a championship before Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, definitely. So Eric Rowan, to me, after being in a really weird place, ending up here, that's as high as you can get, my man. Eric Rowan is proudly my high spot this week.
Yeah. You know what I would like to see, though?
What's that?
I would love it if they included Cesaro on Team Authority to make it 6-on-5, and then Orton did end up showing up as the 6th member of Team Cena.
Oh, man, 12-man elimination match. That would be pretty cool. That would be awesome.
And if they're not going to do that, just give Cesaro a 5-on-5 match where he gets to be the captain of a team somewhere. Like Cesaro and Kid and Heath Slater and like 2 other guys against 5 baby faces would just be so great.
Be a great way to debut the New Day faction. So
yeah, that's right. I almost forgot about them already.
Wow. Actually, though, what I'm really curious to hear about, who is your high spot this week?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man, my high spot. I could say Mizdow because he, like you said, he got the pop of the night.
Yeah, this crowd was dead, dude. I would not blame you for picking Mizdow if you did.
It's not Rusev. You know what? My high spot's Luke Harper because he is on Team Authority. He had the only talking line from anybody not named McMahon in the opening segment. And, of course, I already said he won the Intercontinental Championship. Plus, no, I didn't. Now I get to say it. Plus, he won the Intercontinental Championship. So, all 3 of those things combined, yeah.
No arguments here, man. What a night for Luke Harper. So happy for him. He deserves this big time.
Yeah.
So, great choice. And that brings us to our next segment.